All right, guys. Hey, welcome everyone to another edition of Market Trading. I am your host, Vays. The markets have just opened. It is 9:35 a.m. Eastern time. And I will definitely be in Swan Spaces because we're going to talk about the whole banking failure and Signature and Silicon Valley. So we're going to jump right into the charts real quick. I'm going to try to remember to open one of two packs, my last two packs. And let's see what's going on. The stock market is down big time at the open while Bitcoin is up. What does this all mean? Let's go and take a look. I wanted to double check look how fast things collapsed for Silicon Valley Bank. Silicon Valley Bank stock. Look, the nominal number is not all that important. What's important is how it's performed during certain periods of time. It's very interesting that it did top on an MRI sell perfectly. It wasn't the weekly high candle. The weekly high close did come in a couple of weeks earlier, but the MRI weekly buy was the all-time daily high in the bank on a weekly scale. I'm almost curious how it did on a daily scale at the all-time high. Man, imagine if there was an MRI sell right there as well. Oh my God, no. Oh, so happy for a second. Wait. There still might have been. That would be sick if the MRI buy called the daily and weekly top. No, it didn't. It came close though. That was the daily top, but that was the actual top. That was the weekly top. Man, came close. The weekly did call it though. The daily almost called it. I think we're off by just a few days here, or the top might have come here. It's really hard to tell, but I don't have the time to dig into it. But wow, super close. I will say that at the very top, this did look like an ascending triangle. So I probably would have been a little bit bullish on the daily scale up here. This is where I'm usually bullish, though perhaps not after such a big run up. And I don't want to waste too much time on this. Let's go back to the weekly chart. The stock was doing super well. After the COVID crash. It doesn't look like there was some damage. Yeah, no, it did fall quite a bit during the COVID crash. And then it literally unraveled in a single day. The stock was not open on Friday because on Friday, the stock would have lost probably about 80-90%. And today it would have lost the final 10% and is at zero. But the stock never traded on Friday. The last day of trading was Thursday. The shares never opened Friday. And on Thursday, the stock lost 60%. So on Friday, the stock would have been like a $3 stock on Friday. Super, super crazy how everything unraveled. Biden gave a speech. He made it very clear that they are not bailing out the bank. All of the 8,000 bank employees will be fired. And they are, I don't want to say bailing out, but they are making the depositors whole because they're basically saying it's not the depositors' fault that the bank went down. And there were such crazy debates over this because 97% of the customers of the bank have more than $250,000 with the bank. And so many people are saying that the FDIC should have made those people lose all of that money right then and there. Right then and there, okay? So, but I think that's the wrong view. The government needs to put out this fire now. There was a great analogy in one of the spaces. Imagine if you have a fire extinguisher and a fire just started in your kitchen. And the rules on the fire extinguisher say you should only use 20% of this fire extinguisher in case you need to use it a little bit later. But if you don't use your entire fire extinguisher at that fire in the kitchen, it may not be enough to save your entire house if that 20% of your fire extinguisher does not put out the fire. So you want to take your chances. You want to use the entire fire extinguisher immediately in that kitchen And then if using your entire fire extinguisher does not put out the fire, then your house will burn down anyway. FDIC not using their entire fund. I mean, they're not going to use their entire fund on this bank, but they're obviously going to use way more money than they're supposed to use. But they're trying to put out this fire right now before it spreads throughout the entire economy. So the entire banking sector is probably down because Biden made it so clear that they're not going to save any of these banks. Silver is way up, of course. Of course, silver is way up. Now that I sold like 20-30% of my silver over the weekend, of course it's up. But the thing is, I planned to sell it that weekend. It's not like I made a random decision. It was like my only opportunity. So obviously it's up. Welcome to trading. Every time you do a trade, it always works out like it always would have worked out the next day. Don't worry, I still have like 2/3 of my silver after holding it for over a decade. Just got tired of it. Let me go to the stock market. So the stock market, I got to look at the bank index specifically, but stocks are down big this morning because Biden didn't really give a vote of confidence to the banking sector that they're going to do anything about saving these banks. There was a really interesting tweet. Let me see. I think I hit the like button. I hope I hit the like button. Profile. Likes. Yeah, right here. Okay. So you can see how JP Morgan is in a pretty good location here. And so we're looking at estimated retail deposit share of total deposits. And right here, loans plus securities as percent of deposits. So Silvergate was, a bit to the right, but then you see these other banks. These other banks, like there's probably still going to be a bit of a run on First Republic Bank. This is why, okay? They're in a little bit better position, but still not great. I don't know this one. I don't know Key, but they do have a lower base deposit risk, so that's not bad. But this is a bad place to be, okay? Bad place to be for Silicon Valley Bank. All right, I got 15 minutes. Let's see where we go from here. I'm not really looking at your live chat, guys. FDIC has 125 billion and SVB deposits were 197 billion or something like that. Okay, guys, you have to realize that it's not like the collateral is zero, okay? It's these are very, very tricky statistics, and I haven't dug deep into them. One of the reasons why Silicon Valley Bank got into trouble is because they were holding longer-term treasury securities, and those longer-term treasury securities that are deemed risk-free are losing money because the Fed is raising rates too high. But they're not zero, right? And the Federal Reserve can go and buy those securities at par and hold them to maturity. So the Federal Reserve is going to step up here. The Treasury is going to step up here, okay? So the FDIC is probably not going to lose all of its money because you're looking at it from the perspective of the bank was running some kind of a Ponzi scheme, and all these people that deposited money into the bank, that money is suddenly gone. No, it's not gone, okay? It is sitting in U.S. government debt, and it is sitting in a lot of loans to startups. Now, if the bank does go under, and all of these, 2,000-3,000 startups that are using this bank for their banking services, if all these startups go under, then yeah, the loans and the credit lines that this bank provided to those startups, then that money is gone. Okay, reminds me of what's his name? What's that BitConnect guy? Trayvon. What was his last name? Trayvon James. And your money is not gone in this case. A lot of the money that when people brought money into Silicon Valley Bank, where did that money go? Most of that money was given out as loans. Granted, they were riskier loans than the average bank, but riskier loans do have a higher percent of return. Now, you don't want that to be gone. And the only way that's not going to be gone is if these 2,000 startups don't go under, which is one of the reasons why the depositors are being, made whole. I don't want to use the word bailout. I want to use made whole. Meanwhile, the other part of the money was sitting in U.S. government treasuries, which is supposed to be risk-free, but it wasn't risk-free because of how fast the Fed was raising the rate. So, and the government can pay part for that because it's their debt. So in this case, technically, they didn't lose the money. Okay, so Bitcoin is holding super strong considering how badly the banking sector is driving down the overall stock market. So let me go and take a look at, I don't know if I have sectors up here. Maybe it's in subsectors. Nope, that is shitcoins. That's not sectors. Sectors. Where's the banking sector? XLB, is that banking? No, it's materials. Crap. What do we got? No, wait, hold on. Is that materials? Yeah, it's the banking sector. No, it's materials. XLV? No, it's healthcare. Utilities. Tech. It's always going to be the first one, right? XLF, banking sector. It's always the first one. I don't know why I start from the bottom. So here we go, financials. There you go. There should be a banking subsector. I should do sectors and subsectors here. So yeah, so the banking sector is, whoa, the financials are getting crushed. What do I have in a subsector section? Home builders, nope. There we go, regional banking ETF, boom. This is the one that's getting crushed. But hey, MRI buy on the daily, here we go. Wow. Regional banking ETF, I knew I had it. So that's kind of cool. Let's keep an eye on this. And look at that, an MRI topped as well. Though it did give a green star candle, let me not say I wasn't going to be bullish right here on this day. I probably would have been bullish here. I would have been bearish on the red star. I would have been double bearish on the second red star. And I would have been triple bearish on the break of the MRI support line. I just wasn't looking at this indicator. I don't think the gold standard's coming. I personally don't. But, there's a chance. But there's a chance. Okay, let's go to Bitcoin. In my last 10 minutes. Man, just got into an argument on Mario Spaces. Whether Bitcoin is useful or not. I tried giving a specific example of a merchant that accepts Bitcoin, and that wasn't acceptable. Then I tried giving a specific example of me selling my condo at a higher price than I got for my condo a year and a half ago. And as an example that housing prices are not really down all that much with a huge rise in interest rates. They're down a little. They definitely slowed down on rising. But no, but like I said, I did sell my New York condo finally, and I did get a higher price. I don't want to say the numbers, but I think I got like 5 to 7% more, something like that. I went 20. Yeah, I got about 7% more for my condo versus a year and a half earlier. In the high rate environment. Okay, so this is big. The weekly chart has started off strong. Let's see if we can break the trend line, the moving average sometime next week. I don't expect to break it this week. I'd be happy if we close this week right at the moving average. but next week I would be expecting that to break. Are we going long? Are we going long in our Consensio chart? I'm going to wait till closer to end of day. I'm going to wait a little bit closer to end of day, but I am planning on putting in one of these for 80%, because the moment next candle starts, you have to realize the moment next candle starts, we're going to have the moving averages flip. The moving average in 10 hours is going to be right there at the blue dot, the purple one too. They're both going to be right there, because this is a 3-period moving average. That's a 3-period moving average. And the current two candles are a wash, and the next candle is going to be above this low. So it'll rise right into that opening of the next candle. Okay. So I will be going at least 80% long and 100% probably the following candle as we break the $25,000 high. I'm very bullish right now on Bitcoin, very bullish. Just the last couple of hurdles. We are on the back end of a 1 to 4 candle correction to the upside, which is a dead cat bounce, and then possibly lower. Once we get into the 5th candle, once we break the 50-period moving average, once we start approaching the MRI resistance line, once we're in this above $23,000 zone, but not tomorrow, the day after tomorrow. If on Wednesday we are sitting above the 50-period moving average, I'm going to be unreasonably bullish in this market, as bullish as I've been in years. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know how much you guys care about the tone-based counter trend indicator. So go for it. You are welcome to short the shit out of Bitcoin when I am as bullish as I've been in years, but I will be as bullish as I've been in years on Bitcoin on Wednesday if it's above 23,000. That's literally the last hurdle, because if it's at 23,500 on Wednesday, we would have also broken the 50-period moving average on the weekly that's going down, and that is also huge. That is huge. I mean, we did break it here for like a day or a week, and that wasn't enough. But I think this is a way stronger situation, because unlike here where the moving average had just turned, here it's already been going down. It's time to break it. It's time to use it as support, and then go and then break the 200 week. Okay, the CME Futures. I showed you the CME Futures last night, and last night it was flipping. We then tweeted out on the Financial Summit handle, no, it's still 84% that they're going to raise it a quarter. I heard this morning on Spaces that this was now dominant, that there was going to be over a greater than a 50% chance they weren't going to raise at all, but that's clearly not true right now. The Fed will probably still raise it 25 basis points. They probably still will. They're going to save face. They're going to raise it, and then they're going to say it's time for us to slow our roll a little bit and hold our horses. But I think they'll still raise it 25 basis points one last time to get this thing over to 5%. Oh yeah, I'm certainly expecting Bitcoin 200K in the next few years. I don't care what the haters say. That's the daily chart, short-term chart. Looks good, looks bullish. By the way, I'm not really upset about selling the silver because when I sell it to people that I know, and I know these people are going to hold on to the silver, I'm very, very happy that the silver goes up the day after I sell it than if it goes down. It's no different than like you selling your Bitcoin to a friend. You don't want to sell your Bitcoin to a friend who's going to hold on to that Bitcoin and watch it go down 20% the day after you sold your Bitcoin to your friend or family. You want to sell the Bitcoin to your friend, you want to be, or family, you want to be happy with the price you sold it at, and you want it to immediately rise the next day, so they are happy with the fact that you sold it to them. So everybody wins. Oil is still holding steady. Let's see how the strategic oil reserve is going to keep going. I still got to listen to those hearings. This is natural gas. I still think natural gas is going to go up as well. Gold and silver rose today on banking panic. No one's going to a gold standard. They're rising mostly due to speculation that the banks are having problems. All right, I got about 3 minutes. Anything in the live chat that's interesting? What do you think of Tim Draper call for 200 this year? It's unfortunate. I really want all of these big, important people to be on the opposite side of what I'm thinking. I don't think 200 this year. I think 200 next year. This year, I think the prior all-time high is as good as we're going to get this year. So I'm thinking somewhere between 50 and 75K this year, but 200 next year is reasonable. All right, guys, I got to get going. CPI is going to be tomorrow. I'm going to get going. I want to join Twitter Spaces. Thank you for watching, and see you all over in Swan's Twitter Spaces. Oh, the pack. All right, this is going to be quick. Man, I do want to open these. Like, I really want to know what I have. I go through it super fast. Haven't seen the last card yet. Boom, Bitcoin Standard. Safety, shout out. Hayek. Always a fan. Bitcoin Times, getting that card so often. DCA, you should definitely be doing this right now. Dollar cost average. I get this card all the time. The Federal Reserve card, how fitting. How fitting. Geyser, haven't gotten that one in a while. Oh, Lightning Network. Great art. One of my favorites as well. The US dollar and the currency and how it's devaluing. And nope, 2 more cards. We have the Bitcoin halving. It's coming 1 year away. 1 year away. And the last card is Rusty, World of Rusty. I haven't gotten this card in a while. It's 1 of 1,000. It's not as rare as the red card I pulled out last night. I'm still on the hunt for either a Tone Vays or a Cypherpunk card. 1 more pack left. Last pack. Hopefully we'll get lucky tomorrow. And maybe I'll do a video tonight. Thank you all for watching. No, I'm definitely not doing a video tonight. I got dinner plans. Thank you all for watching. See you all on the next one.